What up, ladies and gentlemen? How you guys doing? Yeah, it's been a good week. How you guys doing, guys? Mrubo. What do you say?
Flasha matatu awo butara unyasuti.
Hey, what do you say, go matatu?
I want
to back,
It's been a good week. It's been a good, relaxing week. I'm king and I'm happy. How are you guys doing?
Dope, bro. Dope. Guys, I'm just gonna get straight into it, bro. I've got a nice look at topic for you guys today. So I'm gonna rap about something real quick. So, how many guys did you guys ever watch How I Met Your Mother?
Yeah.
Barney
Stinson.
Barney Stinson. Kuzi, I was talking about How I Met Your Mother.
I wanna Dara, bro.
Dara,
Dara.
That's so just taking it off the bat, How I Met Your Mother was my favorite. It was my favorite series from the beginning. Like I don't think I've watched anything.
Same.
The beginning.
Same.
I enjoyed it more than. And Barney Stinson always used to talk about the bro code. I'm not gonna get into it because it doesn't exist. There's no such thing as a bro code. But just since the bro code is something that people talk about and they think it's a myth, we don't know about this thing. But I just thought it was important just for us to talk about, the type of friendship that Barney, Ted, and Marshall had. They had this bromance, brotherly friendship, that friendship that becomes, like a brotherhood type of friendship, So I just wanted, there seems to be a lot of pressure, or I've experienced this is from my experiences. I've always gotten this notion that people want men to have friends the same way women do, that talking every day, what, that type of, I'm pretty sure the type of friendships I'm talking about. So yeah. I think I just wanted to talk about, is there like a good way or bad way to be friends with someone? Like, is there a standard way? Because this pressure, not on the board, like where you are always pushed to be, you should be more emotional, you should share this, you share everything, you should know what's Chris, what's your favorite color? Me, I don't even know, bro. And that's okay. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's where I was coming from. Yes, I didn't know that. I don't need to know that. It's not a big deal, So that's why, is there anything wrong with the way men are perceived to be doing this whole friendship thing? That's my first question.
Who's taking it? Who's taking the first one?
Each and every one of you, if you want to take it, both of you continue.
I'll give it to Kuzi first.
Is there a good way or bad way of doing it? I don't know.
Yeah, this friendship.
I'm gonna speak for myself.
Yeah.
I'm a person that is very expressive, but only certain people would know certain things about me, like you guys and people that are very, very close to me. But it's not I think as men, we're also designed differently. We don't share like we are supposed to. But also, I would also come to this point that, do you really have to?
Yeah. This is my question.
Do you really have to? Because
you really have to?
I'm also very selective with who I share. If you're close to me, or if you stay with me, unfortunately, you're going to know my shit. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But if you don't stay with me and you don't interact with me, maybe on a regular basis, you won't know anything about me.
Okay, that's cool. That's fair enough.
You know what I mean?
Chris, yeah, I get you. To Chris, okay, so for you, Chris, how important are just friendships in general in your life? How important are they? Do you put them as friends better than, there's always this comparison, friends, family, or my friends, I talk to my friends more and my family more. Is there I've been accused of being too close to my family and not having enough friends at that level. Are friendships that important to someone?
Okay, I'll speak on this in two different scenarios because I don't want to apply in the other case. The first thing is that I believe friendships are important, right? Because outside of your family, you're gonna need your friends. There are things that you do that your family won't be able to relate to, right?
Okay.
There are things that that your friends open up about you that your family couldn't be able to open up to, right? So definitely there has to be a differentiation. You can be friends with your family in a multidimensional perspective, but you can't be friends with your family, if you understand what I'm trying to say. But then you can have friends that are friends, like just naturally outside of your blood, who are capable of being understanding who you are from a completely different perspective. Because, for example, let me explain, but I saw you shaking your head.
Yeah, I was gonna come in.
The way Daniel looks at me is not the same way you cats look at me. Daniel will look at me and be like my baby brother. You look at me, we're like, yo, you look at me and you're like, yo, this is the boy, this is a homie. You know what I mean? He's the brother, he's the gentleman, right? That's gonna be different how Daniel is gonna have a perception of me, right? So even my interaction with Daniel is gonna be completely different with my interactions with you. What Daniel can give me is not the same as what you guys can give me. So that's a whole complete different scenario of friendships. I'm best friends with my brothers. My brother Daniel is my best friend. I'm not gonna lie. Daniel is my best friend, right? But the interactions I have with him is completely different with you guys. But then talking about me personally, I can definitely say that I have less than I think I got 3 friends in my life, right? People that in my proper circle of bosses. For me, I call them my circle of bosses. I don't call them friends. My circle of bosses is limited to certain individuals that I know, that I hang out with, right? So when Wakadaro, they're so limited, right? And because they're all my friends, when you meet up, you're gonna have a drink, you're gonna hang out, you're gonna talk, but you're not gonna expect to talk to them every 2 days or every day, right? You can send each other memes, but you're not gonna have any material conversations. So friendships are completely different at each level. Like we can't exactly put them on a blanket statement and say friends and family. And exactly what Kuzi said, at our ages, I've learned a very big thing that some friends are just really overrated, bro. Having a big circle is just overrated for nothing.
Okay, well, and what would you say is the main reason for that? Because, I mean, I can have how
Fake
big
friends,
is your
but
circle?
that's
You
simple.
can have 3. You can have your 3, and your circle can keep going. I mean, there's different levels of opening up to people, you know. So, is it a wrong thing, or is this one of those they are fake friends? So don't be shocked when those people disappoint you.
It's that simple, bro. Like
it's
people have different
bro.
motivations of being your friend. People have different motivations of being your friend. Mwanokufarira because unotenga doro, mwanokufarira because you mwanokufarira because they're above you, like in the sense of professional.
Thank you for using English, right? Because I could buy it out there. It's not weird.
Like maybe because they're better than you. Because they're better than you, they're not gonna. They want to be your friend because they're better than you. So they know that they can always security you. I mean, there's so many different reasons why people are friends at this point in life.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And what I wanted to get into next is you're looking at. I remember if you guys watched the video, my dad was like, "Batsi shamwari waskana." He's just got friends who are girls. Akatomboperekedza muchato weshamwari yake musikana akatuita best girl. You know, is there a difference between the way you interact?
Hold on. Let's come back. Let's come back
to that one.
Let's act like you didn't just say that.
Just come back.
What are you saying, guys?
Dara mamuri best girl mdara.
Comrade,
Mama
afika dress here daddy baba.
Man, anatori waswinja wese ndatori kuside kwagroom but I was the man of honor. That's for my best friend's wedding.
Oh, who was the woman of honor here?
Me, man of honor was me. The man, the woman, just
Saka Diana kasaina pemu cards ndiwe. Diana kasaina pemu rume.
Andina kusaina no Jasper kusaina zvakaitwa nemababy zvakaitwa neuganda, but yeah,
I mean,
per speech ndakataura.
I am not yet married. I will never.
We can't comment on this one.
Can't.
We just wanted information.
Can't comment. Somebody,
We are just
why did you want me to come back to this?
We are just
Anyway,
we are just viewers.
so this is what I'm saying. So how do you guys interact? You were talking about, Chris was talking about his inner circle. He's got 3 friends. Of course, we at now Mataura, which is fine. I'm saying, like, of those, how do you interact with your male, your female friends? We're talking about friends in the last episode, and you're like talking about, can you be friends after Maramba and good data, whatever? Can you be friends? Can you actually be friends with the other gender and it be totally platonic? Or how do you relate with these friends, male and female? Can it be totally platonic?
Comrade, that can actually happen. I know a lot of people are saying good hands here. But look, at the end of the day, I believe that platonic friendships happen. I have one. One of my closest people is a lady. And look, I've had instances where people have constantly asked me, Dada, are you Urgujigere? I'm like, no, bro. This is literally my friend for over 10, 15 years. Apana gana kujiga, kuri involved. You know what I mean? We're just completely and utterly just friends. And because apana that, because when you say friendship, right, you're talking about apana that extra attraction that makes you want to make it something else. It's completely just ends there because we're just friends, right? And I believe that people actually can have that. I believe that exists.
Sako munhu akambodya anogona kuzita friend futi. Does it work? Yeah?
Ubunzan.
I'm going to shout out my friends.
My friends.
And I agree with Chris because my friend is the girl, you know. So I can see that.
Guys, it's a complete. It can be a different type. It will be
say Majigiro.
Man. But I believe that friendships are different, guys. Like, as I'm saying, having friendships is completely different. My friendships are not determined with how much you understand each other, right? How much you can communicate with each other and what level you communicate with each other. You can't say you're a friend with somebody which ongoloja. Abana friendship, you know, but was hidden agenda, right? After 6 years, look, that's a different scenario. You know what I mean? But I believe that even when Mambo
I get you.
Friends after, you know what I mean?
They can be friends after.
They can be friends.
It's not unheard of. It's not unheard of. So okay, the way I response, but when I don't know, could my female friends? Could my female friends?
Anyway, my friends.
But my question would be, if you
acquaintance, friends, but yeah.
Only at a certain level.
Yeah, but I have a very close friend. Very, very. I call that my best friend. I grew up with him.
Okay.
Personality, you know, we share everything. And did you? BWV, even personally, right? But you know what I mean? I've got one person that I know that anything, if I want to be vulnerable, if I want to be whatever, if you want to be vulnerable, we talk. You know what I mean? We are that's, but female, bruh. I've got female friends, but boundaries.
But not at that level. Not that level.
So I've got friends I compartmentalize, like my compartments. I've got friends that I put in compartments. So I've got female friends that I talk about certain things with. I've got female friends that I talk about mental health with. I've got female friends that we talk about life with. It's really a different vibe, and most of them are probably not even here. You know, they're just around the world somewhere, and it's just friendship. You know, it's just that.
Okay. That's cool. Okay, so would you say, like, when you're looking at the friendships that we have as dudes, there's this misconception that our friendships end on we're watching soccer, we're drinking at the club or in the bar, we're talking about girls. Did you see that ass? There's the misconception. That's all that dudes talk about, and our friendships begin and end there. We run up because Tessa to know support Man United. We run up because Tessa to know Bar. What's how deep can our friendships actually go deeper than just what people say they are? Or that's just exactly what our friendships are like.
Yeah.
But I'll go back to the exact same thing I said. Friendships are different. You've got friends whereby it's no good about support Man United. By the way, glory Man United. You've got friends who, number two, let's not play about that. Glory Man United. Manchester is red, period. They're friends whereby friendships end when it comes to discussing females. They're friends where it ends about discussing business. They're friends where it ends about discussing other things. There's always a category and space that, as Kudzi said, you compartmentalize your friendships. Unoziya kuti uyu ndikadautara naye zvebusiness hazvibudi. Unoziya kuti ukadautara naye zveman u anosupporta Chelsea. Chela haiwine Champions League. But unongochiziva vanhu vako, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I feel like your question, but is so simple in the sense that as a person and as you are, you know what you can benefit from your friend, because people don't get into friendships just for the just because we do this. It's always something that you're benefiting from the other, right? Okay. So if it's about Manchester United, maybe, for example, you're getting information about that. If it's about business, that this person can open doors for you. If it's about women, we have advice about women in them sort. So at the end of the day, we can't really, you know what I mean? Like, it's just...
I get what you're saying, but there's a significant misconception. Why I'm coming to that is because men are always being accused of not being deep in their emotions, not sharing these things, especially with their friends. So in a situation where I've got an issue, but I'm not sharing those problems that I have with my friends so that I can get the help that I need, So there's now that space where we're being said, it's because you are not in touch with your emotions. It's because you don't talk about your feelings. And it's because you don't talk to your friends about these things. So even if you want them to be accountable, they can't be accountable because you're not sharing enough with them. There's no spaces for that.
I beg to differ, bro. Like, I'm one person who has put myself into really tricky situations in life that have really shown me who my friends are. So I know if I get into a situation who to call, I know who not to call. I know people that will celebrate when I get into shit. I know that, I've come to understand myself like that. That's why I'm a family person, bro.
Yeah.
I'm a family person, bro. If I have a problem, I'll go to my family. I think because I've seen now, I'm a person that is very, very open-minded when it comes to relationships and the people around us. I'm a person that can hang around with someone that's toxic and knows that. But it's good because for me, I know that they are toxic, so I know how to handle them. I'm not one person that shies away. I know, but I know. So I'm going to put that person, and that person is going to serve a certain purpose in my life. But that's not the person that I'll probably tell my problems, because they'll probably celebrate. I'll probably go and tell someone that is going to give me constructive advice. I now know that because there are certain people that are just going to listen. I think we advocate for people to share. Men should share, men should whatever. But have you really realized that when you share, 80% of the people don't care?
They don't give a shit, bro.
They don't give a shit.
Yeah.
They actually are happy that you are in that situation. All they can do is, oh, really?
Shame. But all right.
Know what I mean? So I'm a strong advocate of sharing, but with who, bro?
But because there's this statement I read
With
the
who?
other day. The other day, I read this statement. I know a lot of people are always shunning from these motivational speakers and all that stuff. But there's this one quote that really caught me from one motivational speaker, and that was 50 Cent. Of all the people, it was Fibo.
Some motivational. I was like, who is this guy?
It was Fibo. I mean, everybody knows I love hip hop, right? So obviously it was Fibo. Fibo says one thing, bro. He's like, at the end of the day, if you don't have 3 close friends, right, or a couple of friends by a certain age, then you're doing something wrong. If you're still trusting 100 people in your life, you're doing something wrong, bro. Because at a certain age, you need to know that we are not you know. And if you don't have that, then clearly I believe that because as I was growing, look, I was one of the popular kids in life. I had a shitload of friends, bro. A shitload. Like I could never sit in a bar and drink by myself. Literally, that was impossible. I would just call like 4 friends and they would come and would get shit-faced by the end of the night. But then as I grew older, I grew more into myself. I became more and more an introvert to a point where now I just have a small circle of friends that I know that if I need chakati, I can call Ningi. If I need chakati, I can call Ningi. If I need chakati, I call Ningi. That's it. I've never about anything else in my life. So at the end of the day, if you still say at this age where we are now, you've got 20 friends, I'm like, yo, bro, are you sure they're your friends? Like, I feel like it's not that those are not friendships anymore, bro. I'm sure my acquaintances, I thought I could do my acquaintances.
My acquaintances, you know, we have a season, and if you really want to see your friends, fall down, bro.
Straight up.
Down.
Because bro code didn't just state it's I've got your back.
Exactly.
No matter what. The first rule is I got your back. Zvimwe zvese zvinogona kuzouya whatever moisa madisclaimer pane mame rules enyu, but the first rule is I've got your back. Period.
I'll tell you a situation that happened a few years ago. A friend of mine, we'd gone away for vacation, right? Here when I was here in Dubai, and I think you know that fighting is one of the most illegal things that you can do here. You fight, you get deported. Plain and simple. You get arrested, you get a fine. So one time, Tilmo Hotel, we're hanging out, we're drinking and all that, we're playing cards and hanging out. Yo, come down. I think what's the guy downstairs, they wanted to fight him. He just came back upstairs real quick. It's like, Chris, let's go downstairs, wear your sneakers, it's about to go down. Dude, I did not ask why, I did not ask how, I did not ask what, that's how. I just wore my sneakers in my shorts and a vest and I went downstairs. To this day, this nigga always tells me, yo, Chris, hey, bro, you're a real nigga. These niggas will whoop my ass. They would have beat me, you know what I mean? And I can tell you, for me, that guy is one of my closest mates to this day. Like, if I was in that same situation and I'd asked him to do the same, he was gonna be there. And it's not about a man ego thing, but then defending your person without no questions asked. I will take care of him. You know what I mean? Of course, maybe but I got it wrong. I won't tell you the deep info, but the details. But look, he was wrong, to be honest. But I was there for him to make sure that harm comes to him. You know.
Yeah, and I agree with that. At the end of the day, that's the level. There is that testosterone level of friendship that we have as men, because we will find ourselves in those situations a lot more than the other gender. You know, like so that's why that you have to have someone's back is so important to us, because we're not gonna go to my situations as really desirable, and you need your boys to have your back. The similar one, but some other time. I didn't know for what, I didn't know for who, for why. Then I was just like, no, no, we're throwing arms, apana, you know. So, but I wanted to get when I was doing my research, three types of friendships that I bumped into, and they're stuck in my brain. So just putting together what you guys have been saying, you know, there's friendships of utility. Friendships of utility. Chris Kuti, okay, you need something from them. Your current situation requires you to talk to people who are in business, and then you happen to become friends, because you don't become friends with everyone who you are in business with, you know. But it just so happens that your friendship came based on what you can give them and what they can get out from you as well, you know. Then there's friendships of pleasure. You know, this is now there's either kubora, kubawa, whatever the case may be. It's because of certain things that you both have a keen interest on. Then you can become friendships of pleasure. This is linked to you know, advantages and disadvantages. You take advantage of each other in those settings, you know, in that settings. And then there's a third level of friendship, which is your perfect friendship, right? This friendship is just everyone aims and wants this friendship. This is the one you can be vulnerable in, you know. And I think the issue, what I think the issue with dudes is that these first two friendships that I'm talking about are the ones that maybe we find a lot easier to get into, and it's so difficult to find the perfect friendship, and we don't, or if we find it, it's something that seems a bit too alien.
Oh shit. My friendships are bad.
Boy, but huh?
Aban?
What alien?
I'm your friend. It seems a bit alien for you for you to express yourself in that manner, you know. So a lot of men, it may not be the same thing for us personally, right? But a lot of men struggle to actually get a friend who is, you know, your boy at that level. It may seem like it, but it's actually not that. Question to that is, how do you guys feel about you crying in front of your homie or vice versa? Your homie coming to you with an issue, how would you deal with that? Or the other way around? Kudzi, what would you do?
It's a heart to heart, man. If a man comes to you and cries, bro, it really shows a lot. It really shows a lot. I think I can only be like that with someone that I really, really trust. I cannot just do that with anyone. Nah. I cannot just be friends with you today. I'm telling you my most vulnerable stuff. No. Because people are also evil. I don't think that people can use these things against you, man. That's what I've learned about people. So people can use this against you. People are not perfect. People can tell other people your stories. People can. So it's if I can see that someone has been vulnerable to me at that point, I respect that. For me, I really respect it, and I kind of reciprocate that kind of item too, because normally, if someone is able to cry and tell you stuff about themselves, it also leaves, you know, some part of you wanting to do the same too. You know, you have to be in the same frequency, because you are all human. You also have to say something. This is me. You know what I mean? If you come to me, Chris, saying something, I'm going to tell you an example of what I also think about it. You know what I mean? Because the same thing that you're probably going through, I'm also going through it. But he's also going through it. Yeah. But to answer your question, if it happens to me, I would really take it seriously, man. No matter who you are and stuff, I would really take it seriously. But also, it can be also toxic in a way if it just happens from someone that, you know, is doing it for a different reason. There are people that want to emotionally abuse you, and there are people that want to, do these things so that they can get favors. I've seen people that do that. Some people try and act as if they are vulnerable when they are not. It's just their way of doing.
Okay, how about in a situation where this person has come to you, right? Because they feel they are that close to you, but you are not that close to them.
Yes.
How do you deal with that? Because also in friendships, have you noticed that in friendships a lot of the time, regardless of if it's male, female, whatever, you may think you are close to this person, but that person does not feel the same.
Of course.
So this guy is opening up to you because I think we're homies, but at the same time, it's like, no, I actually don't mess with Matsi like that.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, Chris started.
Here's what I think. I believe that in every friendship, there is one who is there and one who's there, right? There's always one who's got more power in that friendship than the other. Be it in the relation of business, be it in the relationship of a relation of emotion, or be it in the relationship of the other example that you gave. Like, for example, let's talk about the vulnerability that Quincy mentioned. You will realize that the less powerful one is always going to be the one who is always vulnerable to the person who's got the higher power in that friendship. And usually for you to gain that higher power in a friendship, it's mainly resolved around status, right? Let's say, for example, you know how we are, guys, gentlemen. Let's be let's be honest. Kana one way do on a big vanab. That's how we would refer to that particular person in industry. Whether tiri pane vanhu kana kuti hatiri tega inonzi habosi ndeti haamdara zvakamira sei. And it's something that was instilled in our culture as this youth, and to go to my statements to Nobuda, but we forget how much power that shit holds, right? The more we call somebody boss, Hamdara, they will feel more empowered with that, no, respected, and ℍ𝕗𝕚𝕪 around these group of people. So you're obviously gonna be
hanging around those people up more,
and feel more obliged to say, I can go talk to Namdara, this friend of mine, Namdara, because he will give me advice. Because already in your mind, psychologically, you're thinking he's wiser, he's smarter, he knows better. So I can communicate with him, right? That's where we get it wrong. Like, it doesn't mean that if somebody is wealthier than you or doing better in life than you, they know better than you. It doesn't mean that.
That's, far from it,
It's such a far-fetched situation, right? At the end of the day, you will realize that a pauper in life, life. And that's where we the types of friendships that we're having, right? First one, they were utility, and then you establish that our friendship is based off you giving and I giving. I receive, you receive. We friendship in there, that emotional space that I need. And you will realize that most friendships that are in the emotional realm are people that you actually grew up with, right?
Yeah.
One of my closest friends, I've known him since I was 10 years old. We've been friends since. And the other one, I've known them since I was. When you go to grade 6, grade 1, sorry.
Grade 1, 6.
6, 7.
So when you go to grade 1, you'll be like 6 years old, right?
Yeah.
I've been friends with this other lady since I was 6 years old, right? Up until now, we're like the closest of friends. And the weird thing is we don't call each other every day. But I know that if I call her right now and I'm like, yo,
One.
She will fly from Australia and come and beat niggas up in Dubai here because people are fucking up with me. You know what I mean? Because people are fucking up with me. You know what I mean? That's how close we became over that stretch of time. So it's about differentiating your types of friendships and your relationships with people. If you can't do that, you're always going to be in that circle. You're always going to be getting screwed over. You're always going to be doubting yourself. You're always going to be, scared. Nobody knows you have my depression, my mental issues because you feel like people are using you and you don't know what you're doing with your life because you're now comparing it to a boss or mdaro or mdaro. Like, it's a whole shit show. As long as you don't know yourself and your friendships, it's just a whole fiasco.
I'm glad you brought that up, Chris, because I want you.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day,
Types of friendships.
right.
Yeah.
You're
Can
right.
you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I was saying, thanks for that, Chris, because you've established what I wanted to get to. The next part I wanted to get to was now you're looking at a situation when you've, as a person, you've looked at your friends, you've decided where you've slotted them into the compartments that make sense for you in your life. And my question now is on is the accountability that we have as friends, because I think it's taken a bit lightly, or it's one of those things where friendship can go to friendship, but we forget that this is a two-way thing type of. So my question is, as dudes, do you think we check up on each other as much as we should be? Are we really accountable? Are we really accountable to our friends, or do we even care that much?
First of all, I will say, but he just thingy audio.
The thing is, what Batsy is saying, maybe after he fixes his audio, accountability really comes with the relationship that you have. You know, it really comes with the relationship that you have. You cannot just be accountable to. I think maybe putting it in a very. Let me put it in a very
even those that you think you've got that relationship with.
Yeah.
Do we even account for our friends that much? Do we check up on each other?
We probably don't check up on each other as much as we're supposed to, because we give each other an automatic answer. Ndiribo, I'm good. You know, we have we already have an we have an automatic answer to how are you.
Yeah.
So really, you can never really know if someone is going through stuff. I know if Chris is going through stuff, he's gonna come on here and he's gonna be like, boys, I'm gonna say boys.
Yeah.
No, then I know there's something going on. You know what I mean? But there's some people that you can never know what's going on, so you can never ask. You can never. It's after certain probing. Oh, they actually have to tell you. It's difficult for you to know if a guy is going through stuff.
Okay. My argument to that, Kudzi, is that at the end of the day, to answer Mati's question very directly, no, we don't keep accountable of our friends as men. We don't adhere to the bro code. We adhere to the bro code as and when it suits us.
Yeah,
that's the truth. We never. I'm never gonna call you. I'm never gonna call Kudzi and Bati and say, "Yo, gents, what's going on in your life?" Right. And when I do, Kudzi's gonna do exactly what he just said. He quickly deflects. Which is a mentality that was instilled in us by how we were raised. As men, we're supposed to be just okay, no matter what. And tell yourself, it's a phase in life, I'll be fine. That's what is instilled in us. But then because we have that knowledge, and that we have that knowledge instilled in us as kids up to now, we forget that now people are dealing with more shit than they were dealing with back then. Right now, we've got more issues. We're a generation that went through 2 economic depressions. We are currently going through COVID. We went through that HIV pandemic. Seriously, we are a traumatized generation, right? But do we actually take the time to check on our boys and be like, yo, brother, what's going on? Let's talk. Let's just have a conversation. Because sometimes what we don't know is that just having that conversation without even asking, how are you doing? Is somebody actually venting their shit out? Like, for example, I'm going to speak straight from an example from me. 2 weeks ago, I called you gentlemen, right? I sent you guys a message. I'm like, yo, we need to get a call right now. Shit is bad, right? Yeah. You didn't have to wait for the next episode because Chris is going through some shit. I called you. I was like, yo, this is bad. And I explained everything to you. Because as a generation, we need to now learn to actually communicate better. And I hate that I'm actually quoting Batsi now by saying,
Communication.
Yeah, he like communication, guys.
Communication that and particularly with us men to help each other build constantly. We need to talk to each other. I need to be comfortable to come to you guys or to my friends and be like, gentlemen, this shit is going down. I'm in this situation in life. This is bad. How do I get out of it? Because constantly you will realize that as brothers, you probably have either gone through it or you know somebody who has. So you've got that information that I need for me to get out of this situation that I'm in. So I'm advocating for saying we are not being accountable, number one. I'm saying we need to talk more, number two. We need to actually be comfortable with our brothers and being vulnerable with that person you're comfortable with and saying, look, my brother, I'm in shit. And that person who you're telling needs to be also conscious of your problem and saying, hey, one, and not just say good one no mira papo, but actually say good one hey, I don't go to one, oh, but I want one in the experience, yeah, so is. But I know somebody who knows how to deal with this. I know a therapist, I know Kudzi, I know Batsy, I know Dutch, and the money show you which we don't know _BWVE and what they were talking about. Because we're talking about important stuff. That's a second because this is real shit, right? People need to come and watch BWV and say, shit, these niggas is talking bullshit. This is gonna help me in my life. Refer somebody to something that will help them. That's all I'm saying.
I get you. And I like the fact that you didn't take it one way. It shouldn't be just you opening up and that's it. We should make sure that in our own ways, we are opening ourselves up to our mates becoming vulnerable to us. You know, I think that's also a very important part of it because it's one thing, Guti, in any kind of stress, I can tell you guys.
Yeah.
But it's another for me to know that even if I don't come to you guys and say something, you will see, okay, no, something's a bit off. You're about to say, okay, bro. Like making yourselves that safe space for me to come and speak my guans to. Because it's one day, but I may not be pushed to come again the next day because maybe there's no there's a friendship is two-way. That's all I'm trying to say right there. It's two-way. If you're willing to help someone, also be willing to be helped, you know, open up. It makes it so much easier. And I think that's a big problem. Like Chris said, that's a big problem that we have as dudes, bro. We don't want to have those safe spaces because we've been conditioned that we just have to be okay. Or
that's also that's also
some safe, you know, some safe places seem safe, but they're not, bro. I know why certain people don't share shit, man. I know why certain people don't share, bro. Because we end up becoming vulnerable to the wrong people. You know, I know certain people that are vulnerable, bro, and I know certain people that have been vulnerable to the wrong people without even knowing it. Because sometimes, like, if you stay with me, you're probably gonna know, like what I said that time. If you stay with me, you're probably gonna know me because I'm one person who's very expressive. So because you're staying with me, you're gonna know everything. You know, you're probably gonna know everything. You're gonna know my phone calls, the ones that I make, especially if you're from Zim or whatever. But if you don't, you probably won't know. But if I share my story because you are just in my space and you don't share the same energy with me, and you're not in a position, I can see, bro. I can see that maybe you are probably not in a position, you know, to even help me. You won't even understand this. You know, it's just information that is flowing from you, and you're probably going to share it with another person. That's why people don't share stuff, bro. And
you're very
guaranteed.
Kudzi, you're very right. But again, this goes back to everything that we just discussed now. Kudzi, you know your people, know your friends. Know good this friend, as Bati mentioned, there are 3 types of friendships in men, right? You should know with 𝕚𝕚𝕚𝕚 vulnerability. You should know with that's exactly it. Now it boils down to your judgment. in life. You gotta trust yourself, bro. You gotta trust your instinct. Your
So
gut
it
instinct
starts
is
from me
always right.
sharing for me to
Starts
even
from
know.
you. You
It
got
starts
no.
from me sharing, bro.
No, you don't have
I
to
can't
share
know.
this. No, let me tell. Let me try to explain what I'm trying to say. Right. It doesn't mean that you have to share with everybody to know who's your friend. It starts from your gut first of all. Your gut is never wrong because there's that thing of voice cannot tell you don't know really why do I have a voice.
Yeah.
That voice is the one that you need to trust. The moment you say with this shit, I'm going through shit, I need to talk to somebody. But then if that voice tells you we are not going to watch you, so because literally the moment you think in your head with I need to talk to somebody, you know this, Quincy. There are names that will come in your head. Chris, Batsy, Ningi,
You know.
Ningi. It pop up, that's when you know good. Oh, you in with problem. If it's business, shit. Oh, you in with business. If it's something else, shit. Oh, you in with this. Automatically, you need as a man, this gut instinct that we have is a good.
How do you get there?
It's the same gut instinct. Yet no Shandisa when we decide to marry a woman. I'm good. I can marry this woman. That gut instinct, you know who would say so.
But it's not always right. It can also fool you. It can also fool you, gentlemen. Like, I understand what you say. It can also fool you. There are people that can come and pretend to be friends, and then you share with them, and then Mangwana, because your gut feeling is like, this guy is the guy. Exactly. So I understand what you mean, but I'm also like, let's start from the creating of the foundation. So the only person that can probably be vulnerable, you guys, someone that I've really grown up with, who really knows me. Because I really understand
what's your question exactly?
But my point, we could see your definition is also a bit contradictory because you're looking at a situation where even when you're looking at someone you've grown up with, there are many cases where people you grow up with stab you in the back. You know, that happens a lot. So there's really no criteria that will get you the perfect answer. Kuti, how do I know this is the person who I can trust in? But it just comes from, you know, those. Like Chris said, your gut, you know, and when you're saying your gut, it's not just Wangomuka Maxine and you said that's my boy, I can tell them anything.
It takes time, bro.
It does take time, like from
That's
your interactions.
Yes.
From your interactions, like I can't trust this person with this information, you know, and these are things that you build over time.
I got a question.
You know the people around you. That's why I was like, I compartmentalize like my compartment because of that same reason. Yes, of that same reason.
Yeah.
So I understand what you guys are saying. I just want to make it too difficult because, you know, it's a thing whereby you can never know. You can only know by going through certain situations with other people. Know.
But also don't forget something. Experience is the best teacher, right?
Yeah.
So if you experience something with one nigger, right, one friend, one boy, he screws you over. Mangwana, you're gonna learn that if this person is gonna do the exact same thing or is in the same track, you're gonna know nah. You know how this ends already. So you gotta also be mindful and smart about who you deal with, right?
That's
so
that's where I want to take
people.
it.
You learn from people, man. Yeah. Dope. But I got a question though. Before Patsy asks us another one, I have to ask a question.
Okay, go ahead.
In terms of the bro code, right? I mean, a lot of people think that our bro code is limited to talking about women, drinking, football, sports, whatever the thing is, whatever thing it may be. My question is as simple and straightforward as this: as brothers, do we actually think that our friendships are meant to be like that? At what point, as brothers, do we understand that? Do we start learning that the bro code is not really just about you can't smash a homie's girl or a homie's ex, you can't do this, you can't do that. At what point do we realize that there is a deeper part of the bro code? That is why it was designed. At what point as brothers are we gonna start learning that, right? And when did you, for example, know when, oh shit, the bro code is not just about women, football, sport, whatever. The bro code is deeper than that, taking care of our brothers. I don't know. I know it's a deep question, but I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to ask. How do you know when it's time to realize the importance of the bro code? How do you know what happened and how was the bro code chi?
Where I think to try and answer your question is the best way I can.
Yeah.
When I was talking about my types of friendships and how you get to a certain, those 3 types of friendships that I spoke about. The third one that I was talking about, the perfect friendship. I think it all comes down to the basis of why you are friends with someone. And when you realize that you are friends with this person because you love them and you care about them, right? When your basis is that pure, when it's that
pure, yeah, pure,
Sticky.
pure, yeah,
yeah.
You know, go on. Pure.
Anyway, a lot of people, my inside jokes in. Anyway,
What's
a lot of
sticky
people
regime?
are afraid. Anyway, internet, guys, the internet. Anyway, a lot of people are afraid. A lot of men, I think, are afraid to tap into that level of friendship where you can openly say, "I love my brother. This is my brother, and I love him." That word, you need to because the only love that we think is there is the sexual one. When you love your homemaker, you love your brother, and you care about them.
Yeah.
So I think when you get to that point and you realize that all these steps that you're being told about in the bro code, they're linked. You'll never smash your homie's ex, or if you know that will mess them up because you love them. That's your brother, you know.
Yeah.
So I think it's when we take away the stigma of how many friends of yours do you actually stand up and say, "Hey, bro, I love you, bro." It feels like
I told my boys, bro. I told my boys straight up. I told my boys, bro. I got proper family.
And I'll be honest, because of
but that's the conditioning, though. That's the conditioning.
That's the conditioning, bro. Like I learned in that Kura probably 10 years ago. Not you know, I can actually say I love you to my homie and it not be weird. I love you, bro. And
should not be. That's immaturity, though. To be honest, that's immaturity.
Yeah, but it's conditioning, bro. Because if you say if you love someone,
straight.
You know, so I think that's where it starts. And for you to understand that this is a perfect level of friendship where you're like, I love my bro, you know, and I'll do anything for this guy and everything in the bro code. You wouldn't do that in on who you care for. So I think that would be my answer to you. It's that love factor that we run away from that is stopping us from getting that perfect friendship.
Yeah. Okay, I'm answered. Let's move on.
You answered. Yeah. I look. I just wanted to ask you guys. Probably my last question on this one would be, if you're looking at, I'm back on the accountability part. I think what would you say is the best thing to do? Like, if you've got a friend who's going through some stuff, right? And you may not be the best person to speak to about these things. What do you guys think about, like, let's talk about the therapy issue, the stigma around getting help for things. Would you push your friends to go get help, or would you want to try and find a solution as boys first before you push them away in the therapist? Because why I'm asking that, because a lot of people feel like when they've shared a problem and they don't get that assistance from you and you start pushing them away to somewhere else, or somewhere else where you should be getting help, they're not going to open up again. You know, so should we be pushing our homies to get help? Should we be pushing our homies to open up more, or what? How do you think we should help our friends and be accountable for our friends? What's the best way?
I think we should promote the opening up part of things. It's definitely going to be uncomfortable. You're probably not going to solve any of the stories, like the issues that are happening, but you'll probably have a solution. Getting help without their consent is a little bit difficult, because it's just simply you going to tell another person the story without their consent. So then they're like, bruh. And some people won't probably even understand it. People don't understand therapy because it seems like you have lost it. So it needs to know who you are dealing with and what they can take. I know certain people that cannot take, you can talk to them even if they're going through stuff, but they'll probably not take it, as seriously until they get a professional to speak to them, because you're just another person to them. And I know people that can speak to me and they feel good about it. They don't even need therapy about it. Just because we spoke about it, it just becomes, like a normal chat that they could have had with a therapist. As long as, because talking heals, bro. Just talking about your stuff heals you. Trust me. It's the same concept you use when you go to a therapist. It's just that, like a therapist is not going to tell you anything new. They're going to ask you questions of something that you already know. So just saying what's really troubling you is already therapy on its own. So I think it gets to be a problem when the person you are dealing with does not feel like you have helped them enough.
Okay, no, spark rate on that one.
So some people, you can go to someone and ask for advice, say that they're going to take it or not. Some people, it doesn't work for them. You can tell someone to go for therapy, they don't understand it. You can tell someone, okay, cool, it's going to be all right, but it's probably not going to be all right. You know what I mean? It's you're also dealing with different people. If I get into, if someone that gets it into an accident today calls me, I know how it is. I know how the trauma is. I know how PTSD is, like with getting into an accident. I know the whole motions. So I'm not going to be like, no, you know what? You're going to be right. I know, but I actually know how they feel. So I'll be able to walk them through that journey. But if I have never been in an accident and Chris gets into an accident and comes and tells me, I'm just going to tell him, yo, bro, you're going to be right. But he's not going to be convinced that, but I'm going to be right. There's going to be some sort of, some sort of cement. If I can share my experiences with Chris about a similar situation that he has probably gone through, for him to really understand where I'm coming from. But if you're married, you come to me with your marital problems, bro, what am I going to tell you? Exactly. But then ukaenda unatunga is going to give you a different perspective from me.
From the experiences.
So sometimes it just needs to get advice from someone that has probably gone through a similar situation. That's what I take from that, especially whether brokered or not, because I'm going to tell you what I think. But is it really going to make an impact to you, though?
Maybe not.
So I think that's where the line is. Some people cannot, some people can. Just depends with the situation.
Okay. Chris?
Okay, so I'm going to agree with Kudzi on multiple statements he said. But the biggest one I want to say myself is, first of all, know your place. As a friend, know your place, bro. Nobody in this state, what is my relationship with them, right? So imagine somebody coming at you, venta about, let's say, his woman, for example, his wife. You're not married, you have no experience in marriage life. And then you want to give marriage advice. Who are you? What do you know about marriage, first of all? You know nothing, bro. Shut up and just listen. And the one thing a lot of people don't know is that a venting session does not mean you should give solutions.
That is strong. That is strong.
Because half the time when somebody comes to vent, they've got the solution already in their head. They just want to let it out. They just want to release that energy that they have, right?
Yes.
So first of all, you need to know your place, bro. Like before you start talking, know your place. Know what position you are in their life, and know what capability you have. Don't take yourself as a therapist or a psychologist and years of experience.
Mm.
You're
You
just
can't solve all the problems.
you're just Chris. You're just Chris, Mdara.
Yeah.
What am I going to tell you? I run Brothers with Voices. Yeah, sure. Other than that, then what?
Then
What do I know about psychology? I don't know. I don't know shit about psychology. Toto bunza Dr. Ngoni, kuti Dr. Ngoni. Zokamira say,
Tune us.
you know what I mean? Tune us how it goes. But I'm not gonna take it in my headspace and say, look, you have to do this. No, I'm not gonna do that. So basically, what I'm trying to just say with that is, just know your place first of all before you even start considering giving advice or being accountable about anybody's situation. Because don't forget, if you give them the wrong advice and then that situation fails, they will come and blame you.
That's on you, yeah.
So as a brother, remember one thing: as a brother, you need to be accountable for your friend. So don't give them the wrong advice, first of all. Just make sure you tell them to look, I understand what you're saying, but I am not the right person to talk to.
Yeah.
I know Ningina, Ningina, Ningi. Even if you don't know, look, I don't know anybody who can help you in this situation. Maybe let's sit down and try and find out somebody you can talk to. Right? Let's be accountable for each other, so that's how we're gonna grow. Because if we are not gonna be accountable for each other's mental health and give the wrong advice because we think we're smart, because we need degree, kind of a certain level of education, that's not gonna work. Just stay in your lane and know where you are in that person's life. Don't lie to your friend because you think or you feel you care about them, or even if you do care about them. Just if you actually do care or love your boys, then look, find the right and appropriate situation to help them. Don't lie to them. That's what I feel is most important. Just by knowing how to help your friend, finding the right solution. And that by the way, that doesn't mean go and talk to somebody else about
behind their back,
behind their back about their situation. That doesn't mean that. It means sit down and think first, and then sit down with them and say, look, in the funga zakat, I think also it can help your situation, rather than going behind their back and telling a therapist, a friend, psychologist, and say, "Shawana, person got a problem. How can you help them?" No, don't do that. Refer them to the psychologist, right? And let that psychologist actually help them the right way, because you're not a psychologist. You're just Chris, and Chris only knows drinking Manchester United, glory, glory, Man United, and he knows, recording Brothers with Voices. That's all. So let's stay in our lanes and know your limits, right? Don't try and do stuff that you're not supposed to do. Otherwise you fuck up somebody's life.
I think that the listening part is a strong part, because we underestimate the importance of someone just sharing their guans with someone. They may not even be looking for a solution from you. So I think that's really important. Kuterera chaiko kutori very, very important. Yeah, listening and we underestimate how important that is, especially in friendships. So I think, guys, on my question side, I think I'm done on that. And I think just what I wanted to stress was just that the importance of friendships in our lives. Like if you're looking at and just when it starts, at any stages, you can get new friends, you can be reconnected to old friends, but it's just important for you to have that companionship around you, for your mental, your physical. Even it goes a long way to just make sure you're in the right headspace to tackle this thing that's called life, bro. Because and just someone just listening is such a big win for you as well. So that's all I wanted to talk to you guys. I'm gonna let you guys do the thing with the places that we are, where everyone can get us. Chris, if you want to give us that, where can people find us, bro?
Ladies and gentlemen, as usual, and I actually love this part. This is my favorite part about the show, because I've been tasked to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, where to find us. So first of all, YouTube is our main platform now, so which means that you gotta follow us on YouTube. Definitely, you gotta press that little ding-a-ling-a-ling bell thingy on the YouTube page, so that you get every single notification that we are every time we post something. So remember, you gotta search for Brothers with Voices on YouTube itself, and you will find us there.
You see these faces.
Remember to also like the page. You don't just press the bell thing. Remember to like the page. And
Subscribe.
that page, subscribe. Sorry, you better subscribe to the page. And then, of course, remember to share it with family, friends, small houses, wives, husbands, I don't know, whatever. But other than that, that is your YouTube platform, and that's at Ben 10. But other than that,
no under 18.
No under 18. And other than that, that is where you're going to get most of your content. But other than that, I will pass it on to Quincy now.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in for today. We really appreciate it, man. We have all sorts of conversations, man, and this conversation was really touching because it was also making me reevaluate, you know, the friendships that I have. So I'm sure it will also resonate with you as well. So, I mean, share this information with your loved ones. Tag your friends, tag your family, tag your partner in crimes, tag your ex if you think we're talking about them. But hey, we are the brothers with voices. We talk about everything and anything. Thank you very much for the support, Matsi. Thank you very much for being an awesome host for today, bro.
Yes. All right, cool, guys. Thank you very much. And we'll catch you on the next episode from the Brothers We Out.
Peace.
Boom.
Oh, yeah, sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.